What's up guys, we're doing a huge giveaway. We'll be giving away random prizes in random TPS videos. It could be anything, gift cards, PlayStations, $500. I mean hell, you might even get a new car, who knows. All you have to do is tune into TPS to find out. Again, it will be totally random which videos we'll be doing giveaways in and what the prizes will be. So tune in to find out. Then follow the directions we give you in those videos with the giveaway in order to qualify. Hopefully you'll be rolling away in a BMW. Good luck TPSers. What's up guys, in the sports world there are few things as sad as seeing an athlete's career end early. Very few of them retire willingly in their primes. More often a series of gruesome injuries catches up to them and forces these guys into retirement. And sadly there are also those handful of athletes who have lost their lives in the midst of their playing careers. In either case, we're always left wondering what could have been if their careers hadn't ended so abruptly. I'm Jason Biondo and today we present 15 of our favorite athletes whose careers ended too soon. Don't forget to leave your video ideas down below, we'll be looking, and if we choose your idea, we're going to give you a shout out in the video. Make sure to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos every single day. Every day is a new video. Subscribe. And a big shout out to JC Lopez for suggesting this video. Pavel Bure, the Russian rocket, dazzled with his lightning fast skating and slick shot. He emerged as a superstar for the Vancouver Canucks, winning the Calder Trophy as the league's top rookie in 1991 to 1992. He also helped Vancouver reach the 1994 Stanley Cup Final, where they fell to the New York Rangers in 7 games. He had 2 60-goal seasons and hit 50 goals 5 times. He looked poised to dominate for years to come, but knee injuries quickly racked up on Bure. It started when he tore his ACL in a 1995 game. When he returned the following season, he also suffered a head injury which forced him to miss a large portion of the year. He suffered numerous knee injuries from then on out and opted to retire after the 2004-05 lockout. His wonderful and dazzling career ended early, but he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2012, and the Canucks would retire his number 10 during the 2013-14 season. Sterling Sharp. The Sharp family should have 2 members in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There's Shannon, one of the greatest tight ends ever, who was an 8-time Pro Bowler and won 3 Super Bowl championships. And older brother Sterling was no slouch himself. He was a star wideout for the Green Bay Packers, earning 5 Pro Bowl selections while leading the league in receptions 3 times. Unfortunately, Sterling suffered a gruesome neck injury during a play where he was blocking. He snapped his head back in the play, requiring surgery that forced him to retire after the 1994 season. He was headed for the Hall of Fame, and Sharp would have certainly played an integral part of the Packers' Super Bowl 31 championship season. It's a shame it had to end the way it did. Yao Ming. The Houston Rockets drafted towering 6'7" center Yao Ming with the number 1 pick in 2002. He was paired up with Tracy McGrady, and they became one of the most dynamic scoring duos in the NBA. Ming earned 8 All-Star selections and was named to an All-NBA second team twice. In his career, Ming averaged 19 points and 9.2 rebounds per game. Houston made the playoffs 5 times under Ming, emerging as one of the top dogs in the Western Conference. Unfortunately, a foot injury forced Ming to miss all of 2009-10, and he barely saw any action in 2010-11. The foot and ankle injuries were too much for him to bear, and Ming retired before his 31st birthday in 2011. He was later inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Imagine if Ming got to play with James Harden. That would have been insane. Eric Lindros. Many consider this guy the next Wayne Gretzky. It had been a long time since a prospect came into the NHL with through-the-roof expectations like this. He was drafted with the first pick by the Quebec Nordiques in 1991, but he sought and received the trade to the Philadelphia Flyers. A perennial all-star, Lindros won the 1995 Hart Trophy as league MVP and led the Flyers to the 1997 Stanley Cup Final, where they fell to the Detroit Red Wings in a 4-game sweep. But as dominant as he was, he should have been even greater. He suffered 8 concussions in his career, playing just 760 games over a 13-year span, and yet he still managed 372 goals and 865 points. The injuries caught up to him quickly, and the Hall of Famer retired at age 34 in 2007. You wonder what more he could have done if he was just healthy. Joe Theismann. After starring for the Toronto Argonauts in the CFL, Joe Theismann made a successful jump to the NFL in 1974. He eventually became starting quarterback of the Washington Redskins. He led them to a Super Bowl 17 championship and won the NFL MVP award in 1983. Theismann looked destined to lead the Redskins to dynasty status. But Theismann's career ended during a 1985 Monday night game against the New York Giants. He was sacked by Lawrence Taylor and Harry Carson. Taylor fell into Theismann and he suffered a brutal tibia and fibula fracture fractures. Theismann had to be carted off and would never play football again. And so that one hit sadly ended the career of the greatest QB in Redskins history. Cam Neely, the Boston Bruins legend, was one of the most dominant power forwards the NHL had ever seen. The 6'1", 218-pound Neely threw his weight around like a true enforcer. And on top of that, he was also a big-time goal scorer. Neely had a trio of 50-goal seasons with Boston. He led them to the 1990 Stanley Cup Final, where they fell to the Edmonton Oilers. Unfortunately, Neely's career was drafted from knee injuries, and he was forced to retire at the age of 31 in 1996. He finished with 395 goals and 694 points in 726 career games. It should have been way more though. He was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame and has been president of the Boston Bruins since 2010. Looks like everything turned out fine for Neely despite the disappointing end to a remarkable career on the ice. Magic Johnson. The Hall of Fame point guard led the Los Angeles Lakers to one of the greatest stretch runs in North American sports. Johnson's Showtime Lakers won 5 NBA championships in the 80s. He was named the Finals MVP 3 times. Johnson was also a 3-time league MVP and earned 12 All-Star selections in his illustrious career. But Magic shocked the world when he revealed on November 7, 1991 that he was diagnosed with HIV. Johnson retired right away in order to deal with the diagnosis. Johnson would come out of retirement to play one more season for the Lakers. That was in the 1995-96 season. But it was sad to see him contract a severe illness that forced him into retirement for a few years. Thankfully, Johnson survived and has been a key advocate in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Bobby Orr. If it weren't for Wayne Gretzky, many would view Bobby Orr as the greatest NHL player of all time. But simply being the greatest defenseman in hockey history will have to do, I guess. Orr took over games with his slick speed and smooth skating abilities. He led the Boston Bruins to a pair of Stanley Cup championships, won 8 Norris trophies as the league's top blue liner, plus a trio of Hart trophies as league MVP. He finished with 915 points in just 657 career games, which is pretty insane for a defenseman. Orr could have done way more as well, but he had to undergo more than 12 surgeries throughout his career. He finally decided it was time to give up and retired at just 30 years of age in 1978. You can only wonder what more he could have done if he had stayed around a bit longer. Thurman Munson. A cornerstone of the New York Yankees powerhouse in the 70s, Thurman Munson led the team to a pair of World Series championships in 1977 and 78. The stud catcher was also a 7-time All-Star who won the 1976 All-MVP award. Sadly, Munson died while flying his aircraft at the Akron-Canton Airport in Illinois. The plane crashed into a tree and Munson suffered a broken neck and died from asphyxiation. The other 2 passengers in the aircraft survived. Munson was on his way to the Hall of Fame, but it all ended too soon at age 32. However, his legacy as one of the most lovable and all-time Yankees greats still lives on. Yordano Ventura. This guy debuted for the Kansas City Royals in 2013, and he quickly became the linchpin in the rotation. Ventura won 38 games over his 4 seasons with the Royals, compiling a 3.89 ERA and 470 strikeouts. Ventura also played a key role in helping Kansas City win the 2015 World Series. But on January 22, 2017, Ventura died after a car accident in the Dominican Republic. He was only 25 years of age, survived by his wife. Ventura had all the makings to be an all-star pitcher, but he never got the chance to build on that 2015 World Series season. Lou Gehrig. As great as Babe Ruth was, there is no way the New York Yankees would have been the ultimate baseball powerhouse in the 20s and 30s without Lou Gehrig. The baseball icon earned 7 All-Star selections in his career. He led New York to 6 World Series titles and won 2 AL MVP awards. Gehrig finished with 493 career home runs, 2,721 hits, and a jaw-dropping 340 batting average. But during the 1939 season, a 36-year-old Gehrig was diagnosed with ALS, better known today as Lou Gehrig's disease. Gehrig was forced to retire, and on July 4th, 1939, he addressed the fans at Yankee Stadium and delivered his emotional luckiest man on the face of the earth speech. Gehrig thanked the fans for everything and said farewell. He would die from the disease in 1941 at the age of 37. Derrick Thomas. He earned Pro Bowl selections in 9 of his 11 NFL seasons, racking up 126.5 sacks. Thomas turned the Chiefs back into a top-tier club, leading them to the playoffs 7 times, including a berth in the 1993 AFC Championship game. Sadly, Thomas' life came to an end following a horrific car accident on January 23, 2000. Thomas was speeding through a snowstorm and lost control of the vehicle. 1 passenger was killed in the accident, another survived, and Thomas was paralyzed from the chest down. While recovering in the hospital, Thomas passed away after a blood clot developed and led to a pulmonary embolism. Thomas was gone at the age of 33, simply far too young for a terrific man on and off the field. In 2009, Thomas was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Jose Fernandez. Miami Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez had all the makings to be the face of the franchise. He earned 2 All-Star game appearances and was named 2013 NL Rookie of the Year. Fernandez had won 38 games with a career ERA of 2.58 before his life came to an untimely end on September 25, 2016. Fernandez and 2 friends, Eduardo Rivero and Emilio Jesus Macias were killed in a boating accident in Miami. An investigation determined that Fernandez was the driver, and he had cocaine and alcohol in his system. High speeds and darkness were also factors in the crash. The Marlins postponed their game that day, and the players subsequently paid their respects by wearing Fernandez's jersey in a contest against the New York Mets. Sean Taylor. The Washington Redskins drafted the Miami safety with the number 5 pick in the 2004 draft, and in such little time, Sean Taylor emerged as one of the NFL's premier defensive players. Taylor was named to the 06 and 07 Pro Bowls, and he was a first-team All-Pro in the latter year after leading Washington to a playoff berth. Through 3.5 seasons, Taylor racked up 299 tackles, 8 forced fumbles, and 12 interceptions. But sadly, Taylor's promising career and life came to an end on November 27, 2007. Taylor found burglars in his home and suffered a gunshot wound in his leg, which severed his femoral artery that led to massive blood loss, and Taylor tragically died at age 24, leaving behind his fiancée and baby daughter. Teams wore number 21 decals in honor of Taylor, and the NFC Pro Bowl team started out with 10 players to honor the late and beloved safety. Roberto Clemente. The Pittsburgh Pirates legend changed baseball in more ways than one. He paved the way for future Puerto Rican players to leave their mark in the majors, and he was also one of the greatest athlete philanthropists. He was a 15-time All-Star, the 1966 NL MVP winner, and had led the Pirates to a pair of World Series championships. Nicaragua suffered a horrible earthquake in 1972. Clemente boarded a plane from Puerto Rico in order to help the city rebuild and recover. Sadly, the plane crashed not long after takeoff due to engine failure. All 5 people on board were killed, and Clemente's body was never recovered. But Clemente's impact on the baseball world is still felt to this day. He's gone but never forgotten. What other great careers ended too soon? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Make sure to subscribe to TPS because we post videos every single day. Every day's a new video, so subscribe. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes 1 click. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm JC Biondo. I'll see you next time.
My knee.